Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Pokemon Lego here today, and I am here today with a top 10 list for my top 10 favorite megas of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So, this is a little video. I kind of wanted to do a Pokemon video, and I haven't recorded any Wild Wonder Wedlocks lately. I've been a little timid about battling the gym, but hopefully another one should be up soon. But in the meanwhile, you will have this video to comfort you. Yeah, okay. Alright, so anyways, the first, now, you might be saying, there are only 10 Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Megas released, as far as I know, and yeah, you're right, so I'm just going to be putting them in least to greatest, like math. You have to do all those crappy problems in math that are so easy, except it's Pokemon instead, so everybody automatically likes it better. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. And to start us off, we actually have Mega Diancie. Now, I was never really a big fan of Diancie when it came out, especially since it's pretty hard to get your hands on one. I mean, it's not my kind of Pokemon. I'm not really a big fan of Carbink either, but I suppose it's okay. It's Rock and Fairy with the ability Magic Bounce. Rock Fairy is a pretty interesting typing, I would have to say. And with Magic Bounce, that definitely does make it pretty good. So once people start getting more Diancies, it's definitely going to be once they get the Diancie event, it's going to be pretty big competitively, I would say. Just because of its ability and its typing. Which, besides Carbink, I don't think there's any other Pokemon with such typing. And don't worry, guys, in real life, I'm actually holding my pinky up. Alright, so number 9, everybody, is going to be Mega Audino. It is normal and fairy, and it's got the ability Healer, which I suppose makes it okay for, especially for VGC. People might be able to use it. I mean, this might bring it up a tier, maybe 2, but I seriously doubt it, because Audino is just kind of the Blissey of 5th gen, except in my opinion, a little bit more useless. I don't know if it has such a wide move set, but, really the only time you're ever happy to see an Audino is in the wild when you're just trying to get a lot of experience. So, like I was saying, Healer will definitely be useful, I think, in double battles, with a 30% chance to heal up your partner. But, I mean, a lot more people, even in multi-battles it could work, but the only problem with that is a lot more people nowadays, I would say, are doing free-for-alls instead of multi-battles. Maybe I'm wrong, but you're in a free-for-all with a Mega Audino, you're going to be healing up the person you're trying to kill, which wouldn't exactly help. But that's just one scenario, and like I said, to be honest, I've never really had that big of a thing for Audino, anyways, except for experience. Number 8 on the list is Mega Sableye. So this was one of the first Megas released, I think after Diancie, and then Swampert and Sceptile. It's Dark and Ghost, so it retains that, and it now has the ability Magic Bounce. So the main reason that people use Sableye so much is because of its typing. It didn't have a weakness until Fairy came out, and it had the ability Prankster, and it can learn so many status moves like Will-O-Wisp and Torment and all that stuff, so you can just it's like Mohit's dream Pokemon, right? You can just throw your Pokemon, or your opponent's Pokemon, into any sort of status condition you want, and you always go first pretty much with that. So it's definitely pretty good, and with Magic Bounce, without Prankster, it might not be as good, but with Magic Bounce, that's still a good one. People trying to set up rocks to take down, or spikes to take down Sableyes, whittle them over time, especially if their star Pokemon was burned, then that would definitely be a good idea. You can put that up, but now that it's Mega Sableye, you could just start out with Prankster Sableye, go ahead and burn it, then go Mega so they can't send out spikes or rocks or anything to hurt you over time. But to be honest, I was never really that big of a fan of Sableye, because think about it, if it's the last Pokemon left in your party in a Wi-Fi battle, what are you really going to do? Will-O-Wisp? Especially if the other Pokemon's already burned, and all of its moves that it learns, I don't think it's going to be very good at using them. I guess it could do okay, but it's not the best, although hiding behind that red gym is pretty funny, and it did lead a lot of people to believe that it would be an Omega Ruby only thing, but then you would be thinking, where would the Alpha Sapphire Pokemon be? So maybe they're going to release one, or maybe it's just going to be for both games. We'll just have to see. Number 7, guys, is going to be the new Mega Slowbro. Along with Mega Audino, they were both accidentally released by the Korean website, which I find pretty ironic, since they were trying to, well, not ironic, but I guess funny. They were trying to upload something, and they accidentally uploaded these two, And like people say, once you upload something to the internet, it's never gonna come back. People have it forever and forever because they save it and then they show it to their friends and so on and so forth. And that's kind of what happened with Mega Audino and Mega Slowbro. Now, Mega Slowbro is water and psychic, so it retains the same typing, and now has the ability Shell Armor, which prevents it from being critted, which I guess is really good if you think about it. I mean, I would think that Mega Slowbro would still be a rather defensive Pokemon. I mean, Slowbro has always hit me as being kind of defensive, and with Shell Armor, you won't be able to get critted, so it's going to be a lot easier to bulk things out. Now, my only problem with Mega Slowbro is its design. I mean, I'm kind of okay with its design. You know, it includes the shell and Slowbro, and you know, it's pretty cool. It's like it's in a suit or something. But my main problem with it is it's only walking on its tail. It seems like it doesn't seem very realistic to me. It seems weird. It narrows at the end where its tail is, and since the shell's, I guess, tip of its head is where Slowbro's tail is, it looks like it's going to be walking on its tail, meanwhile being eaten alive by a shell. That's more of a design thing, but I still think Mega Slowbro will be cool. But this raises the question, when's Mega Slowking coming out? Alright guys, so at number 6, I do believe we have Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria is going to be Dragon and Fairy with the ability Pixelate, and it looks pretty cool. It's like it went from Cotton Ball to Cotton Ball times 10, and now it's also a Fairy Cotton Ball, not just a Dragon. So this adds an interesting typing, especially for what may appear to be its new rival, Mega Salamence. With it being Dragon and Flying, Altaria now resists the Dragon type in Salamence. Since it's Fairy, it won't do anything. And it can hit back with super effective Dragon type attacks. So it's a pretty good counter for what may be its rival, since we have not seen a Mega Flygon, unfortunately, yet. And with Pixelate, all normal type moves are going to become Fairy. So you can bop a Salamence, maybe with like a Retaliate or a Return or something. If you're really happy, Altaria, just Fairy, Return all those dragons. So at number 5, guys, we have Mega Lopunny. The only reason Mega Lopunny is number 5 over Altaria is because of its ability and its typing. So this makes a difference for a lot of Pokemon, for a lot of Mega Pokemon in my opinion. I mean, seriously, Mega Venusaur doesn't actually look that great. It's not much different than regular Venusaur, especially when you look at things like Mega Blastoise and Mega Charizard X and Y. You think about Mega Venusaur, and it doesn't seem that great. And really, the design is kind of lazy and boring. But its ability is Thick Fat, which reduces 2 of the main super effective moves against grass types. And that's really good. And that's another thing with Lopunny. Its ability goes along with its typing really well. It's normal in fighting, and Lopunny has the ability Scrappy, which I know it means at least normal type moves can hit ghosts, but does that also mean that fighting type moves can hit ghosts? I'm not sure, but if it does mean that, then you can send out Lopunny like Return, Dizzy Punch, High Jump Kick the crap out of all those Mega Gengars. So Mega Lopunny is definitely going to be a thing. At number 4, we have Mega Metagross. Probably one of the most exciting releases. Everybody loves Metagross, especially in shiny form, and they're giving away a shiny one, in case you didn't know. And it's actually Steel and Psychic, so it keeps the same typing like most other of the Mega Pokemon of this generation. And it now has the ability Tough Claws, which is pretty good for Metagross. All direct physical contact moves do 30% more damage, I think. So that means that you can Meteor Mash and get a huge boost out of that, or I think, at least. I didn't really know that much about Tough Claws until a few minutes ago when I looked it up. But man, that just makes Mega Metagross so much more overpowered than regular Metagross. So I think that's definitely going to be a game changer right there. At number 3, we have Sceptile. So, the thing about Mega Sceptile, you see, all these years since Hoenn first came out in, like 2003, all those Sceptile fans always wanting Sceptile to have a different typing, I would assume. You know, yeah, you look at Swampert, water and ground, you look at Blaziken, fire and fighting, all these great types, and then you look at Sceptile and grass type. Yeah. So I think that disappointed a lot of people when it first came out, that it didn't have a dual typing. But all of that waiting has paid off, guys, because it finally gets a typing, and it's a dragon typing. Now, while this does make it seem awesome because dragons are usually overpowered in Pokemon, It actually, I think it halves its, I think it makes fire neutral, which is a main super effective move against Sceptiles. So that would be pretty good, except it has a quadruple weakness to ice. It has a weakness to fairy. It has, I think it keeps a weakness to bug, and it might also keep a weakness to poison. Don't quote me on that, though. But yeah, quad weakness to ice is not going to be too pretty, especially if you go up against something like a Mega Slowbro. Then yeah, you're gonna get the ice. You're gonna get the crap ice beamed out of you. It does get the ability Lightning Rod, which is kind of strange. Being Grass and Dragon, I believe that quad resists electricity, so Lightning Rod just, I think, boosts its special attack. So why would you need something with, you know, like Grass and Dragon that quad resists a move? Why would you want to give it an ability that makes it completely resist the move? It seems a little odd, and I think they're just trying to give Sceptile a cool stat boosting ability. So electric types, beware. At number 2, everyone, we have the Dragon Flying type boss Salamence. So personally, I think I've always liked Flygon better than Salamence. Just because it's ground and, you know, it looks like it's got diamonds on its back, and I don't know, I've always thought it looked cooler, especially in the animation when Ash gets a Flygon to fight that guy on a Salamence. I vaguely remember that movie. But Mega Salamence is awesome. When I first saw it, though, it looked a little weird. It looked like some sort of, like, bird, steel, jet, monster. Oh, wait, just a sec. Let me call the Pentagon and tell them to implement that into their militaristic creations. But anyways, yeah, it's Dragon and Flying, and it's got the ability Aerialate, so all normal type moves now become flying. So again, it's like Altaria's Pixelate, and I feel like I did this for a different Pokemon. No, okay, just Altaria. So now all of its normal type moves are going to be flying type. So you can get a Retaliate, and yeah, if you're fighting, let's say you're fighting a Mega Altaria, it's got the Pixelate on you, it's got Dragon moves on you. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to get off a Stab Retaliate, or a Stab Return, or some crap like that that's going to do a lot of damage, especially if you can outspeed. And by the looks of that Salamence, I would say that it can outspeed. Now, I've never really used Salamence that much, so I could be drastically wrong, but just by design, it looks pretty aerodynamic. Now, at number 1, we have, in my personal opinion, the greatest Pokemon of all time, Swampert. So, Mega Swampert, when it was first released, I was extremely, very, very disappointed. Because I thought I'd seen Pokemon take and screw up my favorite Pokemon ever, Swampert. I mean, it was like when I first saw Quilladin. Quilladin was just kind of a weird fat creature, so much different than its original evolution. But once I started using Quilladin, I realized it was really good, and the design started growing on me. Same thing happened with Mega Swampert. I saw just how big and buff it was, and how it could stand on its hind legs and smash the ground. It's like Hulk smash Swampert style. So it's really not all that bad once you get used to it. And I really like it, and since it is Swampert, and it looks so awesome, it's going on the number 1 list spot area thing. Anyways, it retains its water ground typing, which is another main reason why people like Swampert so much, is because its only weakness is grass, and well, yeah, it's a quad weakness to grass, whatever. It also now has the ability Swift Swim. So, instead of being able to resist explosions, and in my opinion, burns, I think it should have been able to resist with damp as well, it will now be able to get speed up in rain. So you can run a rain team, run a Swampert, and get a fast, physical Swampert to wreck some teams. Just imagine that. A fast Earthquake, fast stab, probably max attack, that's what I would do, Earthquake, slamming into your opponent. They don't stand a chance. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this top 10 video. I hope you all enjoyed. And I hope you all can catch the live stream tonight, or I'm hoping I am uploading this Wednesday. If not, then it's probably already passed. And I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye for now.